one note in that way, where all I'm getting is a pleasant oak. It's lacking sweetness. It's lacking.
Welcome once again to Chill Filter, the podcast where we drink whiskey so you don't have to, but you probably should. Hey, you probably are. That's why we like you, friends. This episode, 324, I believe, we are drinking a product from the James B. Beam Distillery out in Claremont, Kentucky. That product is a recent release called Little Book, The Infinite. Brian was able to snag himself a bottle and quickly courier me a sample, as well as some other goodies. Oh, that's cool. So on their website, and I'll talk about this later, on their website, they do have the glass or like the
No, really?
plastic, but you got something cool. Yeah. Mhm.
So Costco actually had these not too long ago either.
That's
and
cool.
there were a bajillion photos of a bajillion Little Book Infinites next to each other,
Wow.
and none of them had any sort of glass plastic in the
That's
front. This
cool.
is how it is, sir.
No, I'm like looking at their website or the, what do you call it? The
Like a
I think it
promo
was like
image.
their press release or something like that. And it had like the same as Booker's and Little Book. Yeah, I'm looking
Really?
at it right now. It's, at least bourbonbanter.com has it, and
Ah.
it's the exact same and it has a backed bottle. Like yours has both open ends, but this is like, it's the same as Little Book.
What?
It just has
Yeah.
one on.
Actually, the photo on Total Wine has
Mhm.
that
Weird.
is weird.
But anyway,
Well,
let's talk about some business.
yeah, looks way better without it.
No, yeah, I agree. It's kind of classy. Let's hear some business for this week. Hit us up on Instagram. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to say hi. Hey, been listening to at least 4 episodes. I'm hooked. Happy to talk to you guys. We're happy to talk back. Hey, that's the business this week. Hit us up on Instagram. Feel free to just shoot the breeze with us. Speaking of shooting the breeze, let's get back to it. Brian, anything new?
No, nothing going on over here. Standard week, standard work week. I guess, a little fun stuff on Friday. It was supposed to be a pretty big drop day. All
Okay.
signs pointed. I had no guarantees. I didn't know anything, but all signs pointed to Maker's cellar aged.
Yeah.
And Booker's the reserves.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I was, going around with Brian and David, and like we were at Total Wine, and
do you guys carpool when you do that?
No, we don't. That sounds more fun, actually.
It does. It's kind of like it reminds me of Zoolander, where they're all out to get orange mocha frappuccinos together.
Yeah, we pull into the gas station and have a gasoline fight.
Gasoline fight accident.
Anyway, we so it ended up just like it was on manifest lists and stuff apparently, but it just like didn't hit the truck, which it happens. There's never any guarantees. You never know.
But other things.
But yeah, so anyway, the Maker's cellar age just did not show up at any Total Wines in Arizona on Friday. But the the Booker's reserves did show up.
Nice.
So I did manage to grab one of those. Again? 130.
Oh, that's not too bad. It's better than the Little Book.
Yeah, and the Booker's prices here are weird because like if you find a Booker's at Costco, it's like $84. But and like sometimes the Total Wines will match the Costco's and have it also be $84. But then other batches they just won't, and it'll be like 105. Weird. So anyway, the normal Total Wine always on the shelf price is like 105. So what's this? $25 more for like an older blend? I'm down. So yeah, I bought one.
That's cool. Have you cracked it yet?
No, but I absolutely will. Yeah.
Before we review it, probably. Yeah.
Maybe I will just to piss you off.
Maybe you'll finish it before we review it.
Maybe.
It was just older, right? That was the big thing.
Yeah. Normally Booker's blends are like 8-ish plus or minus 1 year. And this one is 8 through 14. Who knows how much 14, but 8 through 14.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm just curious if it's like breaks out of the mold of Booker's. That's my biggest wonder about that one. And maybe we'll find out.
Right.
Maybe we'll find out right here on this here podcast. That's right, everyone. Come back in a few weeks. Yeah. No, I'm excited you got that. And then you got what else again? You got is there anything else? I forget. Okay,
Nah,
that's good.
just the reserves. Actually, so my buddy Josh had given me some rum samples a while back. And I have some of them, but the other ones have just been sitting around. So I poured Sam a little rum the other day, and she was like, "I really like this."
Dude, rum can be amazing.
Yeah, loves the sweeter banana-y rums. I don't know what country is particularly that way yet. I need to do a little research, but anyway,
you're probably
got Sam
thinking
a couple.
try to make a joke, but I can't even think of the name of it. What's that coconut rum? Like, like, oh,
Malibu.
Malibu. She might like
Yeah.
Malibu. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, she
Pour
probably
a
likes
little
some legit
Malibu
stuff.
in a Glencairn, swirl it
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
Did
Classy.
you ever get to try that Guyanan rum?
That's the last drop one, right?
Yeah.
So my buddy Josh, who had sent me a bunch of rums, I've been
Yeah.
saving that to split with him. Yeah.
Nice. You're gonna love it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Nice.
nothing like any rum you've ever had.
Cool. Nice.
It was
I'm excited.
very special in certain ways, but I won't give it away.
Nice.
Yeah, with your how many ounces did they send us? Like 30 total, so we each got 15 ounces.
Mils.
Or mils, that's right, not ounces. That would have been crazy. Yeah, it's like more than a bottle, right? Almost. Or not more than a bottle, but it's close.
But
yeah,
that's pretty much it for me, though.
Cool.
I'm dying to hear about Disney.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's funny. The weird semantics here. This episode's going to come out. Cole has been at Disney. He's going to tell all of us about Disney, and then we'll probably talk a little bit more about Disney next episode, but it'll be before Cole has gone to Disney.
For the first time in a really long time, we've recorded out of order on this episode and the next one. So this episode we're recording after we recorded the last one, or the next episode, which will be Barrel Seagrass Gold. But yes, we haven't done that. Like, I can't remember the last time we did that. Maybe you could, but
it's all in the interest of getting the Little Book Infinite out as early as possible for you guys.
Yeah, we wanted to record this one early. So here's Disney for you. I was struggling, dude. Like, like you kind of get used to, like, when you have kids, vacations aren't really vacations. Like, they're just like different setting for your kid to enjoy your supervision, which I knew. And going into it, I was like, okay, like, this isn't about me. It's not. I never expected it to be about me. But I got a 3-year-old now, and it was a good time. Don't get me wrong. We had fun. We had a lot of fun. We did a lot of fun things. We did a lot of fun things for the 3-year-old and the 1-year-old. But the hard thing is, and I bet there's a lot of people that are on the other end of this, recording, saying like, "Oh, hang in there. It'll get better." But with a 3-year-old, it's really hard. At least for us, it was really hard to have like a grateful attitude. She had a lot of meltdowns, which is what you expect when you go to Disney World. Meltdowns are part of the deal. But it just kind of bothered me. And I don't blame you, Beck, when you listen to this in the future. I don't blame you. We kept you up till like 10:30, 11 some nights. And we woke up at like 7 or maybe even earlier some nights. And so I think it's just a really matter of, like, everything was thrown off. Sleep was messed up. Naps were messed up. Everything was messed up. But it was just hard for me because I was like, if I can enjoy this to the maximum extent that I can, I'm going to have a daughter with a really grateful attitude. And it wasn't so much that, to be honest.
Right.
And so that kind of made it hard, not like bad, but I wondered throughout, and this probably wasn't to my benefit thinking these thoughts, but I was wondering throughout, like, were we better off here? Like, is this, like, I kind of questioned, is this a net negative experience here? Not that we had ups and downs, and the downs reached more to but I was like, did we, like, because like meltdowns went up, and I don't know if they'll continue to be up and like past our trip and like stuff like that. It's like, I don't know if I created a monster is really what I'm worried about.
So the question is,
a little spoiled.
Should we even have come at all? Is basically what you were.
It crossed my mind a few times.
Yeah,
and I still don't know the answer to that. But I know there's probably like I could see John Hughes with his older daughters, or even like Dramhound or something like that, being like, hang in there, Cole. It does get better. They do get a little more mature and a little less ungrateful.
How could it
But
not?
I'm sure Dramhound's never dealt with that. Have you seen Willow? How cute and awesome that kid is. Another shout out to Willow, man.
From an outsider's perspective, anyone could say the same thing about Beck.
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. 100%. She's cute. And she watch that one Reentry Buzz episode with her. She's a hoot.
When she's twirling, we come back from break and she's just
We're
twirling.
Like, hey. Yeah, that was great.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, but she's fine. And like I blame myself mostly for, allowing her to stay up so late and not kind of having boundaries in certain ways. But it was struggling. But we had fun. We did the Bippity Boppity Boutique, and she got prettied up, and she was like unsure of it the whole time. Like she was just like, "What's going on?" So maybe we'll do it again when she's like 5 or 6. But the Bippity Boppity Boutique, for those who don't know, is kind of like a princess, pretty you up, do your hair, do your makeup, do your nails, and then put on like a princess dress, and you can walk throughout the park and stuff like that. Which was
literally
great. It really was great.
Turn you into a Disney princess.
Mm-hmm. She wanted to be Sleeping Beauty, and she looked amazing.
Nice.
And then and I sent pictures to you guys with that. It was great.
Yeah.
But she's a hoot. We had fun. We did a few rides. We did. I'm trying to think of what one of her favorite experiences was.
Yeah.
But I think it was just a few rides and stuff like that. Like we did the she wanted to do the what's it called? It's the one in the Epcot ball, Spaceship Earth is what it's called.
Yeah.
And she wanted to do that one twice, which means she liked it. But one of my favorite parts was we went to Epcot and we went to Italy and had their pizza at their restaurant there. It's like one of the best pizzas I've ever had. It's just a Neapolitan style pizza, and it's just the perfect crust, and everything's amazing.
Awesome.
So,
I remember the Epcot ride. I remember the best thing about it was a nice, cool, air conditioned experience.
And slow, and you can like put your head back if you want. Yeah, it was great. But I took Gray on both accounts. And Gray was like crawling all over me the whole time. And so I was like, Gray, chill out,
That's funny.
But I'm re-entry buzzing today on Booker's 2022-02, the Lumberyard batch. I believe this was a
Lumberyard.
Drink along at one point a few years back.
Sounds right. Yeah, and, I had a Lumberyard. I liked it a lot. I haven't done much like inter-batch comparison on Booker's. Like I'm sure some are a little more peanuts than others.
Peanuts! Sorry. Playing the Peanuts game.
Wait, what's the Peanuts game?
You ever heard of the Peanuts game?
Sounds familiar, but...
You heard of the Penis game?
Excuse me?
Beep! No, you never heard that game where you yell at the loudest you can?
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about now. That's why you said peanuts earlier?
That's why I yelled peanuts.
Okay, all right. We'll see. Now, if all you're yelling is peanuts really loud, then anyone can yell peanuts really loud.
Well, maybe there's something to it. I don't know. We gotta mix it up somehow. Say like,
all right, Mr. Peanuts. I am entry buzzing on Little Book Chapter 8.
Another James B. Beam product.
Yeah,
Chapter 8, the last chapter.
The last.
I'll tell you about that batch.
Ooh, please do later. But this is of course, this is the rye one. It's almost entirely straight rye,
except for the oldest one,
I guess,
which is a bourbon.
It was a tough call on what I wanted to entry buzz today, but I decided to stick with the line and not necessarily the type of whiskey. So
yep,
we'll
explain why that is that in a bit. But
why that is that?
Why that's that? Hey, really quick, foreshadowing into this episode, we got a meetup coming up.
Yep,
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Yeah, we'll give you a little
Bought
more
my tickets
information about it.
already. Yeah.
It will be
Uh-huh.
the news segment of today's episode, but
Yeah.
yes, we are planning. I
Mhm.
guess I may as well give you some important details up front right now
Some.
at the beginning of the episode. It is October 24th through the
Yep.
27th. It is
Yep.
that week in there, Thursday through Sunday. Pretty sure I got those numbers right, but it's
Yep.
definitely Thursday through Sunday. And yeah, we will be doing a Found North barrel pick as a group.
Ew.
Yep.
It's going
And
down.
we will also do many other things like
Dude,
bottle share
mad
and maybe some
things.
other things that we'll talk
Yep.
about during the news
Yeah, we'll
segment
talk
later.
about during
So
Whiskey World News. Everyone. But get your
stand by,
minds
stand
ready.
by.
Get your tickets now.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
yeah.
we're not selling tickets, to be clear.
No. We're not selling. Buy your plane tickets is what it really is. Yeah.
yeah.
Which is very
Definitely.
important. We are not charging a cent to be a part of this. Some of the things are going to be first come first serve, but we like some and I nothing against these other groups that do like, hey, sign up to be a part of this. But we decided our first meetup would just be you pay for the travel and
Just
stay.
get here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just get here and we'll do the rest.
Yep.
So if you're
Yeah,
interested,
very
coming
important.
out.
Very
Yeah.
important to me too. I
Mhm.
like it's the first one. We've never done this before.
Yeah.
I'm sure things will go wrong, but
Charge $150 a pop. No.
yeah, no. What's that Fire Festival? FYRE.
Oh
That was
yeah.
like
Mhm.
some expensive thing, and it ended up
Yeah.
just being an absolute shit show.
Yeah. Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
none of that. Just
None of
get
that.
here and expect
Get
to drink
here.
whiskey, and you'll have
Yeah,
a
that's
good
all you got to
time.
do. Is expect to drink whiskey and find your way out to Pahonix.
Yep.
That's Phoenix, for those who are wondering. Yeah.
Oh, one
It's
more
good to
fun
go.
little thing. Shout out to Frank in Chattanooga. Frank
Heyo.
in Chattanooga helped me out with this here.
Nice.
This is I believe this is
Is that
it's
the
not
pecan
necessarily
one?
no, it's not. I've heard
Oh,
good things about the pecan
yeah,
one.
me
Actually,
too.
he might have got me a pecan sample too here. But
Nice.
these are distillery, maybe not distillery exclusive, but state exclusive at least.
Oh,
I think
cool.
these are only found in the state of Tennessee. And
Nice.
so this is twice barreled Tennessee straight
Nice.
rye whiskey. So it's a twice
Whoa.
barreled rye, and it's bottled at 107. No age statement here, but yeah.
So how's
I'm
that different
super.
than the twice barreled other rye?
The twice barreled other rye is also not age stated, but that was a special release. This
Yep.
is not a special release of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in general it should be pretty similar.
Okay.
That one proof was lower. I'm blank. I think it was 100, and this
Wasn't
one
it
is
also a heritage barrel too? The other
ooh,
one?
that sounds
That
familiar
might have been
too.
the difference.
Yeah. But that one is dark as all get out.
Yeah.
This one, of course, it's in a skinny little bottle here, but it
Mhm.
doesn't appear to be exceptionally dark for how skinny the bottle
It
is. But
actually does
nonetheless,
look dark for how skinny the bottle is.
oh yeah,
Well,
maybe some
considering how skinny the bottle is.
camera trickery here. But
Yeah.
anyway, nonetheless, this is a Jack Rye that I love, and it's
Nice.
twice barreled, so sweet, and it's 107. So
Yeah.
heck yeah. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really excited.
Did you see the other day I got a 136.9 single barrel proof rye?
Oh no, just recently?
136. It was like a month ago, maybe a month and a half.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
136.9. That's hot, baby.
Nice. If I ever see higher ones than that, you want me to grab? Because just like within the last month or two, there were 137, 138s here at Total Wine.
What? Yeah, just bring it up. Hit me up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we'll do.
I'll let you know how my Etsy shop's doing at the moment. Although right now
Yeah.
I'm doing just great.
Hey, good. Is it now like, okay, I know we're going a little long here. Maybe we'll wrap it up with this. It is mid-September. You think people are like Christmas shopping yet? Like, is there a reason why the influx?
Yeah, that's so funny. It just goes through seasons. I'll go through
Yeah.
a month where I'll get like 5-6 orders, and then I'll go through a month where I get an order a day. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, come November, it's popping. No doubt. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
Nice.
yeah. But maybe people are. I know that, yeah, I've gotten a lot of, but then the hard thing is lately I've been getting a lot of not refunds, but like replacements. People are like, hey, it doesn't fit me, these plugs or whatever. And I'll be like, well,
Gotcha.
that's your problem. I don't say that to them.
Yeah.
But I say, oh yes, well my I can take care of it within a month, and or if you
Yeah.
get back to me within a month of receiving it, but all that stuff, it's like policy stuff, but
Right.
it sucks, and it comes in waves too. Like I'll get like 5 of those, and then I won't get any for the rest of the year, and then I'll get
Yeah.
5 within 3 weeks, and then it's
Hmm.
crazy, and it's so frustrating because whenever I get those, I'm low on funds. Like I'm not getting a lot of orders, and so I'm in the mixture
Yeah.
of like some people rarely do they want their money back. Usually they just want replacement or something fixed or something like that. But then
Right.
I'm like, well, I can't just replace your money because I don't even have the money. It's like,
Right.
and I have money. Like it's not like I'm
Yeah.
like this is
In
like
the
really what it comes down to is I have money, I get paid, I have a job. But when it comes down to my jewelry shop, it is my personal and not shared expenses and income with my wife. So
yeah, you're just in your
my
business
whiskey fund.
books.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
your business books. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back. We'll talk about the history of Little Book and the history of what makes Little Book the Infinite so special. But before we do that, let's hit this break. We're back. Nice walk, nice break. Let's get into the history. Before we get into the history, I'll leave that for Whiskey World News, actually. But yes, so I'm looking as I was writing the history today. I'm like, well, luckily we haven't done Little Book before, but I was wrong. We have done Little Book before.
Which
Episode
one?
31, batch 2,
Oh,
chapter 2.
dang.
We did Little Book Little Book for the first time and the only time we've ever done Little Book. But I had no idea that like it was one of the first. I mean, it was like back when batch 2 came out, like that, which was like 6 years ago.
That's cool. I wish I
Yeah.
had listened to that before we were recording this, just for kicks. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
absolutely. No, yeah. So that was episode 31. We drank Little Book chapter 2. Been so long since we discussed the Little Book brand, Freddie Noe, all that stuff. So I'm happy to cover some of the basics of the brand today. All right. So this week we're diving into something that is new and apparently special. Not the brand, but the special release. It's Little Book, the Infinite. Now we all know Jim Beam, right? Big Daddy of bourbon. Been around
We
since
all know Jim Beam.
17. Yeah, James B. Beam.
Jimbo.
1795. James Bo. But that's basically going back that far. Like in other episodes we talked about Johannes and Jacob Beam and all that stuff. But Little Book, that's a different story. We're talking about I guess I could make a joke out of that. Different story because it's a book or a story or a chapter thing. Newer chapter in the Beam family saga is this Little Book. Started in 2017, Little Book is the brainchild of Freddie Noe, the 8th generation Beam distiller, son of Fred Noe, who is the son of Booker Noe. And the Bookers are like basically, you know how like we've talked about this before. There are a lot of Beams out there. We talked about Elmo Beam or Parker Beam or some of these legitimate like Beams. Well, the funny thing about the Jim Beam Distillery, and I'm going off the notes now. The funny thing about the Jim Beam Distillery is that it is now run by Noes based on a marriage of a daughter of one of the distillers. And the daughter was a Beam, married a Noe. The sons of the daughter helped with all the new
hostile takeover. Yeah, I'm
hostile
with
takeover.
you.
Yeah, no doubt. So there's Freddie, he wanted to create something unique, something that pushed boundaries, quote, which is like, come on, everyone's trying to, I bet he breaks all the rules, that's what whenever Heather and I are watching something and an advertisement comes on for a new show and Heather and I look towards each other and be like, man, I bet Queen Latifah breaks all the rules, or whoever's like the lead actress or actor. We're like, man, I bet she breaks all the rules. That's what makes this show so special is that there are no rules. Anyway, pushing boundaries. Little Book isn't your everyday bourbon or blended whiskey. Each batch, I'm sorry, it's a series of limited edition blended whiskeys. Each batch is called a chapter and is a new blend, a new story told through the marriage of different whiskeys. They are currently on chapter 8 when it comes to their chapters. And 8 is a blend of, get this, you know this, you can read it off yours, 18-year Kentucky high rye bourbon, 11-year Kentucky straight rye, 7-year Kentucky straight rye malt whiskey, 5-year straight rye that is a Kentucky family style, which is a char 4. Then they have a 5-year straight rye from a Pennsylvania style char 1, 5-year Kentucky straight rye Pennsylvania style as well, char 4, and a 4-year Kentucky straight rye. It's just a sample. I just listed it all off just as a sample of what Little Book chapters can look like. Most of the time they are beam distillate, but every now and then you'll get like a scotch in there or something from what I hear.
What? In Little
I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me.
You meant wait, you said scotch, but you meant single malt. Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Okay.
I mean, you've probably seen them all, so never mind. But don't quote me on that. And the Infinite, that's what we're sipping today, is not exactly a batch or a chapter. This one's pretty cool. It's a blend of 4 different bourbons. And I lost my place. So unlike many of the other blends, this one is all bourbon. First, it is a 20-year bourbon that was distilled by Booker Noe himself, who passed away in 2004. So it's been around for a while. Booker's son, Fred Noe, distilled the 14-year bourbon component that went into this blend. And then Freddie Noe, Fred's son, Booker's grandson, distilled the 7-year bourbon that goes into this. And there's also a 4th bourbon, which is a, quote, shared family component to the blend. And that's an 8-year bourbon. Now, blending is not easy, as we've talked about, especially with our episodes with Nick Taylor. Not always a science. It's kind of an art sometimes. It takes, a solid palate and a whole lot of intuition sometimes. And Freddie Noe claims he's got that, and he's not afraid to experiment, to take risks. And with the Infinite, he's created something truly special, especially that goes across generations here. It's complex, and in what we haven't tried it yet. I don't know. Have you tried it yet?
Yes.
You always try it. No, I'm kidding. It's not a big deal.
Yes.
But I'm the guy that's like, no, I can't wait to have a fresh reaction. But it's okay.
Yeah,
you don't need to do that.
Sorry. I don't save myself for Cole. I'm sorry.
No. The funny thing is that it comes down to fondia. The fear of never drinking it again is like, for me, it's like, I'm willing to wait. But you're willing to end a bottle faster than I am. That's not a bad. I don't mean excited. That in a rude way. Yeah.
No. Of course I would never take offense to anything like that. I'm actually surprised I haven't opened this Booker's Reserves yet. Nice. Actually, I'm doing it on camera right now.
Crack it.
But anyway, that doesn't bother me at all. Look at this Booker's Reserves.
Look at that, people. That's how you open a bottle.
And a pop for you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Officially open.
So you said I couldn't offend you in that way. Well, what if I called you a tootie butt on the podcast? Would you be offended by that?
Being called a tootie butt is so adorable. I could never take offense to it.
That's why we use it with Beck. We're like, you're a tootie butt. She's like, no, exactly. Daddy, you're a tootie butt. I'm like, no, I'm not. And so anyway.
I've completely derailed you now. I apologize.
No, you're good. No, I was about to get into the details of Little Book. This is edition number 1. It is intended to be, it sounds like, a renewing release. Probably, what did they say, yearly? Right?
Yes.
From that one? Yeah, it's supposed to be yearly. The inaugural release, a blend of bourbons, is still a bourbon. And on the label, you've did that much?
I was going to explain eventually.
Okay.
This was $200, which you're about to
Yeah.
reveal, I'm sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
I was too scared to go into this on my own, so I actually split
Nice.
this with like
Oh,
3 other
cool.
guys.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. So yeah, blend of bourbons is still a bourbon, and those in the statistics and probability world, though, some of Poissons is still Poisson, and it does say Kentucky Straight Bourbon on the label. Proof 119.3, minimum 7-year, but up to 20-year. Really cool label and box, as I mentioned earlier, and total wine price 200. So
Yeah.
let's crack it. Yeah, give me
Yeah.
that cork pop.
All right, this will be lower. There's less volume
Yep.
in the bottle here.
Boom.
Ready?
Ooh, I was
You
almost on point.
you matched that pitch
Yeah.
really well, actually.
Mhm. Resonant frequency, am I right?
Because someone might be crafting a YouTube comment and they might all be ready to hit post right now. So let me just correct something real quick.
Yeah.
Earlier when you said Scotch, and I was like, you said
Mhm.
Scotch, but you mean single malt, right? Well, I said single malt, but I meant Kentucky straight malt. So
Yes.
little book chapter 6 to the finish
Um,
was a blend of like a bunch of Kentucky straight malts that were all
yeah.
finished. Yeah.
That's six.
Oh, and another fun little thing too, while we're kind of talking about the little book history, I only just within the last couple days learned this. The
Mhm.
nickname, the name
Little book.
Little Book, yeah,
Mhm.
is a nickname that was given to Freddie by his
From Booker.
granddad,
Yep.
Book.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep. Which would be a cool nickname to have from Booker
for
himself.
sure, for sure.
All right. Nose is not peanutty. But then again, well, no. Here's the thing: is that Little Book is not always expected to be peanutty, but older Jim Beam juice usually is peanutty, and this one is not to me on the nose.
Yeah.
And it's all bourbon, so it's like we'd expect this to be somewhat similar to Booker's, especially the proof.
I'm getting I just poured this level of like medicinal ethanol something coming off
Mm,
the nose. It's like the other day when we did Garrison and I was like, is something up with my glass? Like
um,
I'm kind of getting that right now, so I'm a little too afraid to do nose notes. But I do feel like after it sits for a little bit in this glass, I'll finally get some good nose notes maybe later on it.
front of the palate um, is peanutty, very front of the palate, definitely. It fades a little bit, and it gets mentholy in a way, in a light mentholy way, like almost you know how menthol just cools your mouth. I'm getting that from this whiskey, not so much in a minty way, but more so in a it's almost like a little bit cedary, but it's nothing close to like you'd get from a rye, like a candy rye. But it's just cooling in a way. It's weird. I'm not blown away by it yet, but we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
First sip, I like you were probably influencing me a lot. I was experiencing it while you were talking,
Mm-hmm.
but 100% agree with everything that you said. I guess if anything, I am menthol even more on the minty
Okay.
side.
Okay. Gotcha.
There is a minty attribute to this. The thing
Mm.
that surprises me is that I was expecting peanuts and brown sugar sweetness and there is
Mm-hmm.
like hardly any of
Surprisingly,
that.
there's up in the front, but then it fades really quick.
Oh,
I'm
that's right.
with you.
Yeah,
The
it
peanuts
is
are
on the label.
gone after a quick, after quick.
Yeah, and like late in the palate into the finish, it's thinner than I expected and just not as like rich. It ends up just being like kind of dry, thin palate that has a minty freshness sting to it.
Yeah.
I'm liking the nose a little more now though. I
Okay.
am getting some decently sweet oak on the nose. And I'm getting some like mellow fruits, not literally banana, but like
Yeah.
a
I see where you're going with that.
yeah, a mellow sugary, a creamy sugary that reminds me of
Yeah.
banana.
I'm gonna say this before I do the water pour. Um, this is just above meh to me, to be honest. This is nothing special to me. Hate to say it. It's cool that there's like 20-year, whiskey in here, but this just tastes like a not bland. It's not bland. Like the notes we pulled out, but it's just not special. There's nothing about this. This is like, whoa, this is really special to me on the palate, at least for the neat pour. Who knows what the water pour will bring?
Yeah, and you've got an extra one of these to go into the reentry buzz pool. Exactly. So hopefully someday we'll pull this blind and have no idea what we're drinking.
I trust the reentry reviews better than I trust these reviews. So
yeah, I was debating whether to say this now.
Say it.
Because I'm afraid of influencing you artificially positively, but the more I drink it, the more I discover more things about it. That is to say, don't let me tell you that it's better, and don't let me tell you that it gets better. But now it doesn't get better to the point where I'm actually like really digging this.
Yeah.
But that first sip was like, what the heck am I even drinking? And then the second sip was like, oh, okay, I can get on board with this. And this whole sentiment jives with the very first time that I tried this. I had a decent pour of it and immediately was like, I have to do this again. And I just poured another pour right away to just like keep the assessment going, because there was like a hidden complexity where I kept discovering more and more things about it that I at least thought were interesting, but still never really got to the point where I liked it.
Yeah, for sure. I tried it with ice or with water. The nose is better. It's a little more bright, a little more sweet. But the palate is different. I got to be honest, it's slightly different. A little more sugary, slightly brown sugary, but just not stand out still. Yeah. Oh man.
I just added water, and since it's not my favorite pour in the world, neat, I decided to go a little overboard on the water. I think I did about 6 drops in a glass like this here.
Okay.
Maybe a half ounce, I guess. But as I was dropping and I was still tasting the finish from my neat pour, I got a lot of maltiness on the back end, like a straight maltiness on the back. None of these components are straight malt, but it had that creamy thing going on, like a creamy, slightly bitter and not sweet thing going on for me.
Yeah. I think you reached out to me when you found this bottle. You're like, you want one? Right?
I sent you a picture of 160 at Costco. I sent you a picture, and even at 160 you were like, nah. And honestly, that was the right call.
It was. Yeah. Sometimes you look back and you're glad.
Yeah.
Ice, the nose isn't great. Oak shows up a little too much with some ice for me on the nose, but let's see how the palate goes.
I am behind you. I apologize for the confusion. That decent amount of water that I added brought out a lot of very pleasant oak that I really like. It is one note in that way, where all I'm getting is a pleasant oak. It's lacking sweetness. It's lacking, well, it's got body to carry it through, but there's nothing like to that body. There's nothing that I'm like it's not. It's like a oily. Can something be oily and dry at the same time?
Yeah.
It's got a little oily, but dry oak is definitely a primary note with water.
Oh, I do not like it with ice. Not good with ice. I don't know if you saw my face. It's like trying to get that off my tongue.
I saw your head fling back in your chair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we're done.
I know, right?
That's another review with Cole and Bryan.
Not much more to say about that.
Yeah, not much more to say. Like, that's the thing I think about Little Book. I've always thought that since batch 1. It is nothing special. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I might be wrong on some batches, but like I'm sad because I want it to be good. I want Freddie Noe to get some good attention, but I am not blown away by this one.
I am on ice now. Again, I
Okay.
apologize.
Yeah,
My
try it.
nose,
It's disgusting.
my nose is deep in this thing, and I'm getting
Mm.
some light pepper, and a little leathery, which is unique on the ice,
Yeah.
but I can't honestly say that I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good. It's not worth 200. It's not worth 160. I would
You know,
pay $40 for this, to be honest.
yeah, I think I guess maybe I'd be around 60 or so.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, what it comes down to is there's nothing special about this.
totally agree. This is not a rebuy, and
Yeah.
I think I would like I've got this much left here. I'm
Mhm.
gonna do a big ice cube pour. The next time I want to drink
Nice.
this, I'm gonna do a big clear
Yeah.
cube
Do
and
it.
do a whole glass big clear cube because like it is the most unique this way, but it is still
Mhm.
not actually good.
It's not good for
Yeah,
me. I
I
only
think this
added a little
has
chunk of ice, but yeah.
I think this has the thickest and most buttery mouth feel, which is fun and it's nice, but it's not actually good. Sorry for that.
No, you're good.
Shout out to my mic stand.
Hey, double ding. Speaking of double ding, shout out to Max for already signing up to like quick coming out
Yeah.
for the meetup. So
Again, as we'll explain more here in a bit,
Mhm.
the Patreon messages have already been sent out.
Oh, they've been sent.
Patrons have the full
Mhm.
scoop, and Max has plane tickets booked and everything
Yep.
already. So
Mhm.
he's ready.
Dude knows. Dude knows. We'll get to that in a moment. But do you have a
Rating.
rating in mind?
I know. Let me pull it up. This is going to be difficult. I don't want to sensationally just be like, bam, D minus, this sucks. But
Yeah, for
I
sure.
want to try to stay level headed here. Okay. I'm working my way up from the bottom. This doesn't have an off putting attribute that makes me not even want to finish it. I finished it.
Mhm.
It's fine.
Yeah.
This, I think, also doesn't clearly stand out as being bad. I don't
Yeah.
think it clearly stands out as being bad. So
Mhm.
I'm sitting here at C minus. There's something about this that makes me think this is not so great.
Nice.
And the thing that is not so great is that it is lacking better common whiskey attributes that I
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
sweetness,
Yeah.
brown sugar,
Fruit.
yeah, fruit. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
and actually, you know what? So like C minus D plus are in the same little
Yeah.
group here for there's something about this that makes me think it's not that great. I'm actually
Mhm.
going to go down to that D plus. I'm going to stick with D
Wow.
plus on this. It's just not so great.
Yeah. I looking at the scale, we basically say average C gets lost among other whiskeys in the cabinet. The pros and cons are even. That's a C. A C minus and D plus is what you were saying. It makes me think this is not so great. There's nothing that makes me think like this is except for the ice pour. That was terrible. But there's nothing that's like on the best pour here. It's not like it's bad. There's just nothing special about it, which is sad. So I'm gonna just actually say C, almost C minus, but C, because it's not like to me this isn't the best pour here. It isn't bad. It's just like I would like honestly $40 I would spend on this bottle, if that.
Yeah.
So sad to say it, but that's my
I feel
rating.
like
So
your $40 sentiment, there are $30 to $40 shelfers that would give this a run for its money.
yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, like I hate to say it, but Eagle Rare can take. I would buy 10 Eagle Rares before I bought one of these. But that's
Yeah.
Eagle Rare. I love Eagle Rare. But like, what's another like Four Roses Small Batch Select? Like, I would buy that any day over this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. So that's that. All right. Now that we've got our ratings out of the way, we can move over to the next segment of the show. A segment that we like to call Whiskey World News.
All right, welcome back. This is Whiskey World News, and today, for the first time ever, the Whiskey World News article, well, it's not an article, but the news segment is about Chill Filtered. It is a Chill Filtered news segment. That's us. We are having our first meetup. Now, you know, as much as I want to call it an annual meetup, like we want to do regular meetups, but this is nonetheless, this is our first meetup here that we've been talking about for years. And so here we are. It is going to be in Phoenix, October 24th through 27th. And we've got an itinerary for you here where we do on October 25th. Well, let's say October 24th, that first day is just kind of if you make it in time, we'll do a early dinner, a welcome dinner, a kind of meet up and drink kind of thing. Don't want to drink too much though, because the next day on Friday, October 25th, we are doing our Found North barrel pick at 4 p.m. Phoenix time. Phoenix time being Pacific time, I guess, you know, with daylight savings time.
Is it November where it switches over?
It is November. Where it switches
so we're good.
Okay, so think of my time as California time, Pacific time. Chris Riesbeck from Found North is flying in,
baby.
Not only is he bringing samples from barrels, which no guarantees, but we did specifically say bring us kind of your dark and stormy types of barrels. So we'll see. Who knows? We could get whatever. But anyway, they're bringing us some samples for us to choose our own single barrel. And not only that, he is bringing just the smattering of other random things. Whatever he decides to bring, he's bringing a little extras for us too. Should be a good party. After that, we'll go out to dinner at a local whiskey spot. And then on Saturday, we reached out to Del Bach already.
Whiskey Del Bach, people.
So anyone who's interested in caravanning or riding together down to
Carpooling down to Tucson.
Yep, to do a distillery tour at Whiskey Del Bach, and
I'm sure Jim's in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait to meet
Jim.
There.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think who's.
I'll determine if he's a Paul Hogan guy.
Paul Hogan.
Yeah.
Who's Paul Hogan?
He's the Crocodile Dundee guy. I was saying.
Oh,
he looks like from his picture. He kind of looks like a fit Crocodile Dundee kind of guy.
That's right.
Except for not as old as Paul Hogan looks these days. He looks terrible these days. Jim looks a lot nicer.
Yeah, so for sure. We want to do some fun stuff with Del Bach. We reached out to him already. We're trying to see to what extent we can have fun and romp around Whiskey Del Bach.
Yeah.
On the way back to Phoenix, I know a sweet restaurant there in the north end of Tucson called Nana's Kitchen. Planning on going there and getting some absolutely legit Mexican food.
Banging Mexican food.
Yeah, a great whiskey selection too, and actually legitimately award-winning margaritas. He enters margarita competitions, and he's gotten like second place for the last couple of years.
Like international or like national competitions?
I'm pretty sure national. Cool. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure national.
I'm in.
Anyway, so we're doing that for sure. And then on Sunday, we want to do a live drink along. We want to do our drink along live with all y'all. We want to do a bottle share, and we want to do a reentry buzz style group blind competition. Yep. So Cole and I, or Cole or I, maybe one of us will do it so that the other one can participate if they want to, but put out this big blind for all y'all to score points, see who wins. Maybe we'll come up with some sweet prize for the winner to win something special. That sounds kind of fun, actually.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that'll be on Sunday there on that last day. So y'all can fly back home Sunday night or Monday morning. And of course, if you're living in Phoenix, definitely want to see you here. Too many people to name off, man. A lot of people living in Phoenix here for this.
And it would mean a lot to us Phoenicians if you showed up to as many events as possible, because this is all like kind of a fun weekend. So set all your plans aside for that weekend, not just the barrel pick. We love to see you for everything. So, and I'm sure
Yep.
everyone would too. I'm not even worried about it. So,
For sure.
yeah,
For sure. Again, October 24th in the evening through Sunday, October 27th. So
That's
hope
great.
to see you there.
I already bought my tickets.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't put that
Yeah.
in my calendar yet, but yeah.
And then the prices went up the next day after I purchased, which is always a fun thing.
Perfect. What day of the week did you purchase? Do you remember?
It was 2 days ago, I guess. So it was
Okay, because I like
Thursday.
there's a thing in the back of my mind that like Tuesdays are always the best day to buy plane tickets. I don't know if
I
that's
heard
like
something
true
like that.
anymore or if it ever was true, but anyway, I was just curious.
It might have been. Yeah, who knows?
It might have been. So, all right, what whiskey would you choose? So, apologize if this is confusing or out of order, but you know, as we discussed, this episode is coming in hot with the Little Book Infinite here. But recently here, we asked you what E.H. Taylor special release would you try? Now, Cole and I picked our choices. We asked you 1v1, Cole v. Bryan, which one would you want to try? Barrel Proof Rye, the newest release, versus the Old Fashioned Sour Mash, the very first release.
Yeah. I didn't see who won. I'm guessing me.
No, I was guessing you too. So by a
Wow.
smidge here, we had 58% say Barrel Proof
Wow, it's
Rye. We had
close.
42% say Old Fashioned Sour Mash.
And they're both unobtainable.
I know, right? Yeah, this is definitely a dream situation here.
What was the price you saw in the secondary the other day for Old Fashioned Sour Mash? Like 1,300?
13K or something like that.
Or 13K, not even 1,300. Yeah, 13K. Yeah.
Yes, $13,000
like
for the very first. Yeah, right. Why buy a car to get you to work and home when you could just buy one bottle of whiskey and just chug it? Yeah. So we asked you if you could choose of any E.H. Taylor special release, which one would you like to try? And we got a couple of write-ins here. We got Mortarbox Media. He says it is still the proudest moment in podcasting history for him when they sent the Amaranth.
Yeah. Do you know who that is?
No, I was hoping you would say.
Yeah. So that's Adam Rostad, the official first co-host.
Yeah, Adam. Yeah, awesome.
So, yeah, when I feel like we were only about 100 episodes in, and or not 100, 50 episodes in, and we got sent from Sazerac, we got sent Amaranth, and we were like, I was just like melting on the inside because I was like, this is so freaking crazy. Like, it was amazing. It was like, it's one of my proudest moments.
Did they send you 30 mils?
No, they sent 100 mils, I believe. I still have the little sample bottle. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. But so while we're talking about it, what Mortarbox Media? What's his company?
So shout out to Adam Rostad because he's got kind of like I don't think it's just podcasting anymore, but he's got kind of but it's mostly I think podcasting. It started as that way. Is that it's his like what do you call it like consulting almost on podcasting and starting a podcast. Not only consulting, but like he'll do the editing for you. He'll do he'll do all the hard work that goes into starting a podcast. In fact, like he did in a way, kind of how he did with this one. But it wasn't, of course, 100% like that. But yeah, if anyone's interested in starting their own podcast, hit up Adam. Mortarbox Media, I believe.com. So
nice. Good stuff. So 2 here back to back. We got Marco and AZ said Warehouse C Tornado Surviving.
That'd be cool. That was like the third release, I want to say, or maybe the second release.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was one of the earlier ones.
My Bourbon Adventure, though, wrote in and said Tornado Surviving as well. So Marco and my Bourbon Adventure can get together and drink some Tornado Surviving. Paul Clarkson wrote in. He said Amaranth, Grain of the Gods.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Mad Tom
it was
Marco
good.
Wrote in.
It was good, Paul. But it wasn't like the best of the pours.
Oh,
but not that I don't respect your answer, Paul. Love it.
Right. Yeah. Matt Tom Marketer wrote in. He said, rather than E.H. Taylor special release, he said the best Single Oak project. Madtown Marketer Ben Klepsig, he wants to just stick to the Single Oak project.
Okay.
So Whiskey Drinking Panda, he wrote in and said E.H. Taylor 4 grain.
Okay.
Not too.
Yeah, that was good. 2017 or 2018. Joey
Ooh,
T.
okay. Nice.
Question
And
for you. Reach out.
last but not least, Bryce Marita wrote in B-side. He said, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please, is what he said.
I'm into that answer.
Any please, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now I got a question for you,
So
Cole.
wait, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
go ahead.
hijack your question because I thought of a really cool one, and you
Sweet,
got to
let's
think
go.
of it on the spot.
Well, I'm
And we can
bad at
save
this,
one
but
for later.
go ahead.
But I was thinking to myself, like, what if I showed up to a bottle share and someone had old fashioned sour mash there? I would faint. I would swoon. I would just completely pass out because I'm like, holy cow. So here's the question for this week, and you got to think about this.
How many
What bottle?
milliliters would you pour?
Not even that. Like, if you show up to a bottle share and this bottle, X bottle is there, and like, what would you almost pass out from? Like, I guess let me phrase this better. If you went to a bottle share, what bottle would make you literally swoon? So you got to think about that.
Yeah, actually, I have an answer for you already.
Okay, bring it on.
And part of this, I hope our listeners to just something's going to hit your mind instantly, and that's your answer. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, go with the first thing.
Because like whether or not it truly is the best thing you could possibly think of,
no,
that's not the answer I want to hear. I want to hear where your mind goes immediately and first. And for me, that is King of Kentucky. Nice. I have heard so much sentiment about King of Kentucky that, like, yes, it may not be the absolute pinnacle of whiskey, best thing I could possibly think of. It is the number one place that my brain went, because there's so much sentiment about this bottle. There's so much, I don't know, call it marketing, if you will, about this bottle of being like the pinnacle. It is the Brown-Forman, like BTAC is basically what it is. Yeah. So that's the one that absolutely jumped on my mind first, is King of Kentucky. If somebody had a King of Kentucky at a bottle share, I would be like, crap, should I run home and grab better stuff? This is ridiculous.
Yeah. That's a better question. It's like, what bottle at a bottle share would make you drive home again and pick up something even better?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So I thought about this one a little bit, and I appreciate your answer, because you haven't had all the King of Kentuckys. You've had maybe a few, right? Like samples, basically.
Yeah, and only very, very recently too. I was fortunate enough to get some samples from some other people.
We did one episode back it was probably 4 years ago, where we did a King of Kentucky, and that was a Brandon Hunt joint. And speaking of which, I hit up Brandon Hunt, and he says, "Yeah, hit me up. Like, let me know what the schedule is."
Yeah, good.
He's the type of guy that would throw down at a bottle share.
Nice.
And so anyway, this is if someone brought. So I thought about this at first. I was like, there's a few I would swoon, no doubt. Like, and that's the thing, is your question is like, what was one of the first things that comes to your mind? And then also, it's probably something you haven't already had, because like, if someone brought Seasoned Wood E.H. Taylor, that'd be cool and all. But it's also like, I don't know if I would like swoon. I would be stoked beyond belief for sure. But like, it's like, if I'm going to pass out from someone bringing this kind of bottle to a bottle share, it's gonna be Single Oak Project barrel 80. If someone had the winning barrel of the Single Oak Project, I would be like George Costanza in that episode with the fire, where he like pushes women out of the way, and like children when there's like a fire in the building.
Yeah.
I would like, maybe even another way to phrase this question is, what bottle would you push a woman out of the way? No, I'm kidding. No, what bottle would you like do anything to try at the bottle share that everyone wants to try it as well? You know what I mean? Like if there's only so many pours, like, you want that pour. So we're gonna stick to the original phrasing of the question, though. On the
Here's another way.
What bottle would you punch a baby for?
Yeah. I dang it. I knew you were going to say that. I was doing a little QA listen through the last episode, and when I said that, I was like, man, that sounds terrible.
Wait, that's the funniest thing, is that you did mention that. But yeah,
I know. I did. It's true. Anyway, what bottle would you sprint through Costco for?
I
can't remember if I talked about that on the show. But there was a ridiculous story that somebody posted on Reddit Costco who was going to get a Weller foolproof pick. And
Uh-huh.
and so people lined up and it didn't come that day. So then the next day people lined up, like
Yeah.
more people lined up and it didn't come
Yeah.
that day. So then the next day word got out even more and more people lined up. And then like it turned out like the day that it came, there were people
Oh
like
wow.
sprinting down the aisles at Costco and everything. And it was just an absolute shit show.
Oh wow. I think I told you, Brandon Hunt told me this story of him and his friend went to the Costco, one of the Costco's in Phoenix. And he said, as soon as they're walking in, which was right after they opened, but like maybe a few minutes after, as soon as they're walking in, one guy's walking out with a double eagle, very rare, in the box. You know what I mean? Like the white box, not just the box that, like, he's in the box within the box, like, or the box outside the box.
Yeah.
But he was like, bummer. We were gonna get that. Like he got word that it was gonna be there, and he was just a few minutes too late.
Damn.
Yeah. And that was like 6 years ago. Not 6 years ago. That was probably like 5 years ago. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, what bottle would you swoon for at the bottle share? And mine is, well, you said King of Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, barrel 80 of Single Oak Project. So no, that's good. All right. We'll save that other question for another time.
Yeah. Perfect.
But yeah.
Well, so I hope that you don't mind that here really quick. I
Mhm.
realized something different between the normal Little Book bottles
Uh-huh.
and the new one.
The
The
Infinite.
normal
Mhm.
the normal Little Book bottles have these two little flappies. See
Yeah.
here on
The
video,
old
the
flappies. Yeah.
two little flappy straps coming down on the Little Book bottles. Yes, well, the Little Book Infinite bottle
Uh-huh.
has infinite flappies. No, I'm kidding. It has 3 little
Oh.
flappies.
What they
Yeah,
should
how
have done
about
is a Mobius strip of flappies.
yeah, right? It would go on for infinity then at that point.
Mhm.
So, yes, just a fun little thing that I hope you don't
3
mind that I
flappies.
mentioned here. 3 versus 2 flappies. How
Huh.
about that? How about
I
that?
wonder when they'll bring in the 4th. When will it
Oh,
end?
man. Infinity plus 1. Actually,
Yeah, yeah.
shout out to all the Instagram people who voted on our 2 Pick Tuesday for Infinity plus 1.
I didn't even catch that.
I put up like, because last episode I like
Uh,
promised, I was like, I promise we'll do a 2 Pick Tuesday this week. And
mhm.
then we ended up like
Oh, I
time
get it.
wise,
Yeah, I
it
was
ended
like
up
looking at that.
being
I'm like, I don't get it.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
now I
So
do.
since I promised last episode, I
Mhm.
threw up a
That's
Little
nice.
Book Infinite versus Little Book Infinity plus 1 vote.
Yeah. And then next, I mean, we already put out it was like between William LaRue Weller and Seagrass Gold. And of course, I've already given that away. Seagrass Gold won. But I'll give you a hint. It's good.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to everyone who voted for Seagrass Gold because
Yeah.
that was really fun to do.
Honestly, it's amazing. Yeah. So yeah. Buy it. 300
So
bucks these days.
I hope you stay tuned and listen to our Seagrass Gold episode, and I hope that you find one for $300 and you buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I hope I keep my streak on season 5. Season 5? Yes,
Yeah,
season 5. Yeah, that's right.
that's right. That's right.
Of the reentry buzz.
Well, I hope that I get to do Bippity Boppity Boutique with Emma sometime soon.
Yeah. You know, she's got minimum 3, so it'll be 2.5 years.
Good
But
call. Appreciate it.
yeah. But yeah, I hope we can be grateful. That's what I hope. But most of all, I hope that we can be grateful. But most of all, listeners and viewers and everyone like that, I hope that our love of whiskey lifted your spirits.
Big Daddy of Bourbon